Hey, Spa Insiders, we got an awesome treat for you today. We got Nicole Stewart on the podcast. She's the spa director at Nicewonder Farm Vineyards. There's a 5-star property in Appalachia that she actually had the unique experience of opening up. So today, we're going to talk with her a little bit about what that experience was like and what she learned. We're also going to have a very real conversation about mental health and how to prioritize yourself in an industry that is all about taking care of other people. Hope you guys enjoy. This property is just stunning. How long have you guys been open?
The spa itself has been open about 1.5 years now, but the property has been open since 2022 and the vineyards actually since 2013. And then we've built this beautiful resort and the yurts. The spa was the last piece of the puzzle.
That's amazing. I feel like you've got such a unique perspective because really you've been the spa director there the entire time, right?
Yes. It was a very educational and humbling experience. It's been really enjoyable to see where all of that work sets its roots and how we combine with the golf course that's next door, to the tasting room, to the winery. I'm very happy with where I am and where we are located in Southwest Virginia.
So going into this, what was your background before you arrived at Nicewonder?
I had worked in spa industry for 14 years and hospitality for 15 years,
Wow.
including management of a small property just nearby here. I started there when they were first opening. A very different property, but the guest experience stays the same. You still want to make them feel welcome.
I love that. What's your philosophy on guest experience?
Guest experience is the only experience. That's why we get up in the morning. That's the crux of hospitality. If you're not doing it for the guests, I don't know. We would all just be pantomiming through this. You want to provide human connection. You want to provide experiences for people. They're spending milestone moments with you. They're celebrating birthdays. They're celebrating anniversaries. And we get to be a part of that. So we need to take that as seriously as possible and make that connection.
How do you instill that in your staff, or how do you hire around that?
That's a process. It really is. You go through a lot of people in this industry. It's been a bit of a tough climb with hiring in this area. There's more competition for really good therapists, even front desk staff. So for them, it's part of the training in the hotel. We go through Forbes training. It's instilled repeatedly because it's not a given for everyone to know customer service. So it's explaining that, giving them experiences as well in the hotel, in the spa, so that they can feel it from the guest side as well.
That makes a lot of sense. So over this 18-month journey of opening, what are the biggest lessons that you've learned?
I have learned that every day is a new day. Your experience will get you so far, but something new is going to crop up that you did not anticipate. You just have to roll with that. That's part of this industry. It's unpredictable. Times change. People don't necessarily change. Everyone is under some sort of pressure. There's short fuses. There's temperaments are just different, and you have to evolve with that.
You feel like they're carrying more stress into the spa than before?
I think so. I think it's maybe the world we're living in now. People are looking to get away, even if they're just close by. Even if you can get a 2-hour break away, it seems like there's some stress that they feel the need to leave behind. I think we all feel that. People need to run away from something for a little while, even if it's just to shut the door on it, close their mind down for a little bit and get some peace and a regular human connection.
It's almost like your mission is the caretaker of this oasis for people.
Exactly. Everyone needs an escape. And I would like to curate that experience for people and have them be able to come and leave feeling like, okay, they recognized me. They recognized my name. I made a connection with them. They understand what's going on, even a little bit in my life. And that human understanding, that's a huge thing. It's a huge thing for us in the spa when someone is going to go put their hands on you, the physical touch of that, to understand what you need in that moment. And we're really fortunate. We're caretaking in a fun way. We can have that connection with someone. You get a soul benefit, I think, from helping people. And so that's how our therapists, my current staff of therapists, feel.
It's very, very interesting. So if we divide the guest journey into pre-visit, while they're here, and then post-visit, how do you try to infuse that philosophy into each of those different touch points?
It's really about acknowledging what they have going on in their lives across the board. We share information throughout the hotel, throughout the spa. It helps you if someone's celebrating something, if someone is going through something, even if you don't acknowledge maybe an issue that they're going through that's bad, we'll say. that you take the extra care with them. You try to acknowledge them. You weren't just turned out as guest one, guest two. We know your name. We know where you're from. We know what you were going to go do for dinner, what you were excited to see in this area. So that when they come here, it feels more homey. Yesterday, people were comparing us to a lot of other spas, and they were bringing their group back in August. It's always a joy to hear here because we are small. We're a small spa. And she said the difference was the little things, that you were personalized, that you noticed things and you anticipated what we needed.
What were the little things in that instance?
One, we had someone who required a different size robe. And instead of allowing them to be uncomfortable in something that would not have fit them appropriately, we anticipated that they needed that, so that she commented that she didn't have to ask for it, that she said it allowed her to not feel embarrassed or to have to ask for it. That was something, I don't know if you don't use that story, but to me, it was significant that you make that connection. You understand, I don't want someone to have to feel different in this setting. I want them to be comfortable from the moment they're here and not awkwardly coming out in a robe that maybe doesn't fit them or a pair of shoes that doesn't fit them.
Love that. You're like really charting that journey for her, and you're thinking, okay, this could be a moment where she feels embarrassed.
And there's no reason to. Everyone should be treated that way. Everyone should have that same experience of comfort from the get-go. And that's what we try to do.
I think that's so beautiful, because I think in our industry, there's a side of it that can be snobby and exclusive, and almost has that opposite effect. So I love the focus on inclusivity and service.
Yes.
It's just a really beautiful philosophy.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, I don't want anyone to be uncomfortable. And we would strive to do that for anyone maybe who has an issue, maybe with illness, bringing a service dog in, that you accommodate to the best that you can for the space that we have. Because we want everyone to feel loved and happy and relaxed.
How do you supply that attention to detail and that personalization at scale? Because a lot of our customers who have day spas, and maybe they have the luxury of being fully booked, and they're staring down a 10-hour day. How do you guys still carve out the time to nail those small details?
Caffeine is a big deal. One, we are small. We started small. We're 7 rooms. My desk staff is small. As a spa director, I probably a little different from other places that I see or interact with 80% of our guests. So it helps our setup, helps that we are always mindful of how many people we have in the room, the time. I think looking down your day at 10 hours, it can be daunting in the morning when you think, oh my goodness, there's so much that I've got to hit. But you just have to remember that this is why we're here. I'm going to rest later, and every person that comes in, from the very last person, the very first person, deserves the same luxurious experience. So just keeping guests frontward facing, keeping yourself healthy as well helps. Also tending to your own mental health, I think helps with that. For us, it's constant movement, but it goes by so quickly though when you're constantly having a task ahead of you. And I love days like that.
I really love that you brought up mental health, making sure that you're giving yourself the energy to pour into other people. So I'm just curious, have there been moments where you struggled over the past 18 months?
I did experience some burnout mentally, and it was weighing on me. Maybe I have learned different habits, some just small changes of taking care of myself, realizing you've got to disconnect at a certain point. None of us are doing brain surgery here. It's important what we do, but at the end of the day, my health is important as well. What you said earlier, you can't pour into a cup if your cup is empty. So for me, it's about exercise. It's about a somewhat healthier diet. I have not given up caffeine, and I will not give up caffeine. I'm definitely in a better place mentally, but sometimes you don't know that you're burnt out until you maybe even leave a situation. You know, like I said, the world we live in, when it inundates you from the moment you wake up, if you look at just looking at your phone, not even if you read anything terrible, just that we have everything that's happening in the world in our purse, in our back pocket. It's
a little anxiety cover.
Exactly. And I actually wondered if part of my anxiety at a certain point in my life was tied to constant access, and not just access to me, access to information. You don't really get that cutoff period to reset so that you can be what you need to be for work and for your family as well.
The realization, like 3 months ago, I got an OtterBox that's waterproof. I was doing emails in the shower.
Oh my goodness.
And I looked at myself and I was like, what?
What am I
What
doing?
are you doing? What is my life?
Yes, exactly. I would love that. I love a psychology on what is it that you can't put the phone down. That's big though. I've never done that. So
I
take the OtterBox off.
that was my rock bottom.
Take the OtterBox off.
Okay. So in hospitality, some days to show up and get through the day, you really have to subordinate what you're feeling so that you can be who you need to be for the guest. How do you balance that with not totally turning it off and numbing yourself?
It is difficult. You compartmentalize during the day, and then there's the danger of never dealing with it outside of there. You keep it. And then eventually that will break you down. You can't dismiss your own issues, your own stresses for the sake of others without that eventually affecting you. So again, you just either have to find your therapy, which might be actual therapy, but it might be your exercise, your health routine, but you have to leave it at the door. You just can't take care of someone else, though, if you haven't taken care of yourself. It's a hard balance. It really is. No one can go that long without dealing with it, even if that means you just need to get a massage and cry to your massage therapist a little bit. Just say, I just need to get this out.
Self-care routine.
Exactly. My self-care. It's like crying in the shower.
Between emails.
Between emails. Exactly. Exactly. I weep and then I answer one. No, it would be ridiculous to think that the person providing the care for you has no problems whatsoever. So at certain points, you have to leave it at the door for the guest, but you have to pick it back up and deal with it as best as you can in the time that you're not with the guest, not hands-on. And it's a hard balance because it's selfless to concentrate on someone else's problems instead of yours. And I guess that is part of the hospitality as well, is that you do try to show more care for someone else without expecting a reciprocal.
So are there any podcasts or books that you personally have found valuable and might recommend to somebody else who's in hospitality, who's dealing with some of the same stresses? Anybody that you listen to or look to?
I'm a Christian, so that's my religious affiliation. And I take solace in my church community. I take solace in the Word of God. Again, it's not going to speak specifically to my exact circumstance with what I deal with people, but it does.
Source of strength.
It is a source of strength, and it's an example of how to treat people. So that's my North Star, I guess you'd say. So, but no, I don't really have a podcast that I would recommend to anyone.
It's
I
okay.
listen to a lot of true crime, so I'm probably
I
not.
like this too.
I'm probably not the best person to ask about de-stressing. Keith Morrison from Dateline, he unwinds.
How about mentors? In your journey into this position, who of your top 3 mentors? Yeah.
My mentors, let's see. I had my previous property when I first started. I started as a spa coordinator. I'd never been in the spa industry before. And I eventually worked with someone. She'd had experience at a much larger property out west. And I learned a lot from her.
What's the top thing you learned from her?
I learned the best way to approach your staffing, and that sometimes your need is for the right person, not just to fill a position, and building a team, and at how to also synchronize your team and to foster the teamwork amongst them. It's definitely a really eye-opening experience working with her and learning from her. And then opening here, the spa here, the general manager at the time, Mara Bouvier, she was probably my strongest mentor, just from the opening perspective on things to expect, things to look for with opening, getting an idea of what you want, the theming to be, how you want to structure the work week, everything from A to Z in an opening. I really looked to her for guidance, and she was a wonderful person to provide that to me as well.
So if you could pass one lesson of hers on, what would that be?
For her, it was, again, the guest experience. It's the anticipatory service. It's the acknowledgement of a person as a human being, not just as a guest. The connection that you make with them is what brings them back. It's less about the service, but they remember you. They remember you talking with you. They want to see you again. They recognize you when they come back, that it's about making those moments. For me, it really focused it, especially in the opening when I certainly wasn't thinking about the guest at that time. I was thinking about how many sheets I needed to order, what product we wanted to use, with help from your team as well.
So talk to me about your favorite service on the menu.
My favorite service on the menu is a body treatment. It's the Gemstone Light and Body Treatment. And it is amazing. It's as relaxing as a massage. I am not a person who easily relaxes. I certainly don't relax when I have a service where I work. Maybe if I go to another spa, but I'm just always cognizant of work, aware that someone might knock on the door, might need something. But during this treatment, the Gemstone Light and Body Treatment, I have never been so relaxed. It was amazing. So it's in a treatment room. It's with a massage therapist or an esthetician, and you're lying on a gemstone mat, 7 different crushed gemstones throughout. It's heated. It has infrared light, and then it has a pulse electromagnetic field, and that's going to increase your blood circulation, send oxygen to your cells. It's going to temporarily relieve any aches and pains. It's going to help boost your serotonin levels, which we all want at a spa. And then your therapist is going to paint an Austrian war mask onto your body, and that has pulverized gemstones in that as well. That's going to hydrate. They're going to swaddle you in a wellness cocoon. You're going to get some scalp and facial massage during that. And then they'll remove the product with warm towels and apply a luxurious moisturizer to your skin. It's an hour and 45 minutes. It goes by very quickly. You have the feeling after that maybe you've been to a wine tasting. It was so relaxing. And the time flew by. It just didn't seem like it had been an hour and 45 minutes. And it was amazing. You feel renewed, refreshed, a little bit sleepy.
What's the response been like for
that? The response for that, once you educate people and describe that, you get people out of the mindset that the only thing that's relaxing is massage. The response to that has been amazing. We have people who rebook that. It's not just for people who are interested in gemstones or crystals. Anyone who just is looking for relaxation, some caretaking can come and get a full body benefit from that and mental benefit from it as well. We were named in Virginia Living as one of the top 10 spa treatments in the state of Virginia for 2024. And the writer had been here and she said, it's hard to surprise me. I go to spas all the time. I write about spas. And she said, this service really surprised me. So we love to hear that. We want to have more than just a couple treatments on the menu that are like that. We like to surprise people in a positive way. So that's my favorite. And it seems to be a favorite of our guests as well. So like I said, it's just educating you. Once people have it, they'll understand.
I was personally surprised by it.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And it changed my perception of body treatments. I think I'm like kind of a meat and potatoes spa guy.
Right. Exactly.
Every time I go in, like, just give me the deep tissue.
Right.
And so I didn't know what to expect, but it just was fantastic.
Exactly. And it is. You never have to sell a massage. Like massage, everybody knows, everybody wants. But some of these that it just takes a little bit of education and a little bit of personal input on I can tell you, I can assure you this is going to be good. And so you've endorsed it. That's great.
From a revenue perspective, are you guys doing more with this than you are like a deep tissue?
Oh, no.
Yep.
Doing a lot of them. We are doing a lot of them. Like I said, deep tissue is going to be your number one. We are next to a golf course here. So you have the people who kind of are going to come and they need the work to put them in the best shape for that. And we're building a new complex as well with pickleball. So again, you've got to provide the deep tissue. I don't know that any treatment will ever go ahead of the deep tissue.
So interesting. You mentioned the golf segment. Mm-hmm. Is that a community that you're marketing to?
We do. Yes, we do. We have a membership that's connected with the golf course. We have a residential area and they're our sister property. They're right here next to us. And it's, again, part of the same family owned and operated. And as our sister property, we do market to them as well. We invite them to come over. They're great to see week to week, even with some of our members. And so that's been really good to get to know them. Some people I knew before from my previous property, and they have the assurance that coming here, they know the quality. They have an expectation of the treatment that they'll receive. And we like to exceed that and provide that for them.
So with the golf population in particular, so many of the spa owners that I talked to, the clientele is just overwhelmingly, it sounds to me like you're engaged in the golf population for a pretty meaningful amount of massages. And so how are you guys marketing to that segment in particular?
We definitely see far more female guests than male guests, but we do promote it in that same vein that this is beneficial. And in terms of promotion, we even provide, if you're a hotel guest, not even just necessarily to the membership, there's the stay and play. You have the golf, you want to come and get your massage, that there's a package that will provide you with both. Everybody needs spa. I think we've gotten past where it's just a female-centric thing. It's just girl stuff, that there's an education out there of how it benefits across the board for male or female.
Yeah, preach.
Right, exactly. Like, why would you deny yourself relaxation? So luckily, I think we're in a new age with that. Everybody knows self-care is important.
Oh, so the last thing is, if your best friend just graduated aesthetic or massage school, what advice would you give them in starting their business?
In starting their business, if they wanted to start their own business, let's say know your area, know the demographics in your area, know your competition in your area. And really, in the beginning, try everything that you think you might be interested in terms of massage or facial techniques or products, and really hone based on your own experience with that, with what you're enjoying, what you're seeing feedback from. When you first start, you may have a vision in your mind of what things will be, and it's always going to change. You'll look back 5 years later and it will be different than what you had expected. Not everything has to be set in stone, doesn't have to be concrete. Give yourself time to learn and also to change your mind. So open mind and build your experience as much as you can.
Any mistakes that you made that you would?
None. Not one. My mistake was thinking that everything was set in stone. It's this. If it's not this, there's nothing else. There are lots of options out there. There's not just one way to execute everything. And then also permission to try something, not like it, or try something, be bad at it, and keep going. So maybe the biggest thing is just to give yourself some grace and time. So I think my mistake was thinking that I wasn't capable of more and that I wasn't worth trying to find something else or trying to elevate or trying to find what works for me in that moment or in future moments.
That's really powerful. How has partnering with Universal been for the spa?
Oh, well, you were a huge, huge part of opening this. I mean, and not just from product offerings or menu development, just your team is amazing and really super encouraging. Again, it was my first spa opening. It was a lot to go through, and they assured me this is how it is. It's not just you. So Universal has been, yes, like hand in hand this entire time. So cannot thank your team enough. They're lovely, wonderful, love the products. We're using them all the time. So
What's a favorite product?
oh my goodness, the Reveal product line. Our collagen mask and collagen serum spray. I talk about it all the time. It's so good. It's so skin plumping. It makes you so radiant. We had some people here the other night for an event, and she was asking what she needed to get before she went. I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to break her out, but that it would actually give her a benefit. She came in the next morning and it was amazing. It was lovely. She loved the products. It did exactly what she wanted it to do for that night. So I love that. I love the VitaJewel product line, all of those. My goodness, those are a conversation starter just from the visual on them. They're beautiful. They totally go with our theme here. They look perfect in our relaxation lounge as well. It just ties in with the crystals that are in there. And again, just takes a little bit of educating people, and we've been selling them like crazy lately. So it's been wonderful. Yes.
Awesome. Well, any other words of wisdom that if you could speak to a smaller day spa or a solopreneur, anything else you give them in terms of advice?
Right. I would say keep your head up. Take care of yourself. Find your healthy habits. But always keep in mind why you got started to begin with. There had to be a moment where you thought, I want to help people. I want to take care of people. Remember that connection and always try to maintain that each person that comes in is looking for something from you. They're expecting that relaxation experience. They're expecting to have a connection. And there will be times that you will get away from that. It will get busy. You'll get hectic. You'll be frustrated. And that's okay. You're human. Everybody goes through things. But if you keep your wellness in check, keep your mental health in check, and keep that focus, I think you'll be fine. You'll be good.
Awesome. Thank you for taking time to talk with us
Of
today.
course.
This was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for speaking with me. It's been wonderful.